So let me welcome you on behalf of Hospitality Industry Club. Thank you very much. I just need to say thank you right in the beginning. So thank you very much to everyone who's joining us right now. And obviously to all our panelists who we will be talking to in just a few minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think it's an important time to share ideas. And yeah, I will explain a bit how we will go on in about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, what will happen. And yeah, then we will start and get right into it. So our more or less topic of today is, how is your professional life affected of coronavirus? So the head topic is Corona talk, virus versus hotels. And the topic of today's session will be, how is your professional life affected? We wanted to create a concept more or less like the evening camps. So we want an open discussion. We want you to share opinions and your ideas. And we want you to keep it short and simple, because otherwise, you know, I will stop you. And obviously, we want the people that are watching us right now to give us questions. If you look a bit below, there is a Q&A section where everyone can participate and ask questions. We will start with an introduction of the panelists, and then we will move on to getting a bit to know the panelists a bit more and asking them certain questions. We have tech providers and we have hoteliers, so we will get a bit into it as well. During that, you can ask already questions in the Q&A, but we will not get into it because it would be great confusion for everyone, I think. After that, we will have more or less 10 to 15 minutes to check the questions and to see whom from the panelists can answer the questions, because then we will have a bit more input of the panelists, and I think we can relate a bit more whom to ask of the panelists, okay? So this is more or less, let's say, how we will move on. I will keep a bit the time, yeah, I will stop the time and stuff, and keep in mind that we will have more or less 1 hour. I'm Lisa from Hospitality Industry Club. I didn't mention by now, but yeah, I'm Lisa from Hospitality Industry Club, and I will go ahead so that everyone can introduce themselves.
Lisa, maybe before we start, let me quickly interrupt. If you have anything to say, you can use the Q&A button at the bottom. You can also contact us through the chat, or you can just raise your hand and I'll be coming back to you. You can send a message to me in private as well, and I'll ask the questions for you, and I can unmute you as well.
Correct. So I will be moderating with Daniel together, and Lena is also sharing her opinion as someone who works for opensmjle, and she will also have, or will be managing the whole concept of Q&As, chats, and whatever technical things we will be doing. Okay, so yeah, before we start with the introduction, maybe Daniel, you can introduce yourself as well as my moderator companion.
As the co-moderator.
I don't want to say moderator, so I said like moderator companion.
Okay. I thought I would go last, but first of all, it's a pleasure to have so many people online. It's more than 90 already, and I would love to say hello to everyone individually, but it's so many that I might do that later on. I'm Daniel, the founder of opensmjle and the Hospitality Industry Club. Currently working on different stuff as opensmjle and as HIC to help the industry in this tricky situation, but I will give more time to my co-panelists.
Correct. So I would love you, dear panelists, to introduce yourselves with your name, the company you work for, and a bit explaining what you're doing. Either it's a tech provider or as a hotelier, a bit maybe just what the concept is. And then to keep a good old tradition of HIC evening camps, please name one hashtag that describes yourself. It can describe a situation that you're in right now. It can describe a hobby of yours, whatever it is. I will pick Feli first because she has been to our camps a lot of times. Maybe Lena will, during we are doing this, Lena, could you put on the first poll that we created, because we don't only want to get to know our panelists, we also want to know who is watching and who's joining us as an audience. So just 2 questions, pop, click them, send it out, and we will know more or less who's watching, and so we'll know where to direct the questions. Whilst we're doing this, please, Feli, start introducing yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Felizitas. I'm from the East Hotel in Hamburg. We are close to the 30th of April, so it's really sad. I'm there the performance manager. I'm for the whole online marketing. I take care of the marketing like social media, and sometimes I support our revenue manager for our revenue questions because I was revenue manager before. And my hashtag is dog lover. She's there. You can't see her, but maybe she will hop in a few times.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I would go on with Maria.
Hi everybody, good afternoon and good evening. Maria Macree from RMS Cloud. So we are a technology provider servicing many hotels, service department providers, parks, or within the industry, fully supporting and helping and doing something what we can during these times. My hashtag has to be mum life, because I have a 1-year-old in the next week. So with nursery being closed for 10 days where I am right now, it's very testing trying to juggle mum life, child life, cooking, cleaning, everything else. So I cannot wait to resume back to some form of normality. But yeah, great to be here this afternoon. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Maria. Awesome. Okay, Ramin, let's go on with you.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Ramin Lale-Khani. I'm the director and owner from the boutique hotel Poppenbütteler in Hamburg. And yes, due to the fact that our hotel is very small, I'm responsible for almost everything. And my hashtag at the moment is cash is king. So that's all.
That's all. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Then I will go on with Antonios, my colleague.
Great to be here. I have many people know me from my hotel background, but I'm in tech now for 5 years. I'm working for Pace. We're helping hotels with all types of areas in terms of revenue management, pricing, analytics, diagnostics. Pace is a science-based revenue management system which can be installed very lightly and very easily, and makes pricing for hotels many times during the day very easy.
You have a hashtag for us, Antonios?
I would normally say science matters, but it doesn't describe the situation, no. So I just thought of another one, the show must go on.
Yeah.
Because I think we all need to stay focused in these times and look ahead. Yeah, that's what probably would describe me best now.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Bettina.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bettina. Over 6 years now, I'm a member of the Welcome Hotels Switzerland. My team and I are responsible for the sales and marketing department. We are a small Swiss hotel chain in the German part of Switzerland. Our properties are based in Zurich City, Zurich Airport, Bern and Basel. My hashtag, don't panic.
Yes, I love that one as well. Thank you very much. Then we have Neville.
Hi, my name is Neville Isaac. I work for Beonprice. I'm based out of Madrid. Beonprice is a company which provides revenue management technology for hotels. Primarily at the moment in Spanish-speaking countries, so Latin America, Mexico, Colombia, Spain, and we're starting to expand into other markets. So we provide a revenue management system which gives strategy recommendations, and we provide some market intelligence data, and we back this up with a lot of training and consultancy. Hashtag revenue never stops.
True one as well, very good. And then last but not least, we have Stefan.
Hi, my name is Stefan. I'm from Koncept Hotels. I'm the Chief Brand Officer, so well, I would say I'm the marketing guy there. Koncept Hotels is a small hotel chain founded 3 years ago. We currently have 4 properties in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. If I needed to describe Koncept Hotels with 3 words, I would probably choose with digital, with sustainable, and we try to focus on the local part of the whole storytelling. If I had to pick a hashtag for my personal life right now and my professional as well, I would say home office with kids, because that's what it is. It's a challenge, but it's fun.
Yeah, totally understand.
We're at day 17 of lockdown in Madrid.
We'll get to that in just a second, because I said last but not least, that was a lie, because we have Lena as well.
That is true, and someone is already using the Q&A. So I'm just reading it out. Isabella is saying, greetings from Bitcom, Krakow, let's stay strong together, her hashtag. Yes, and to me, I'm Lena from opensmjle. I joined 2 months ago as a Director of Business Development from HRS. And at opensmjle, we are a storytelling agency specialized on hospitality, and we have been in the industry for 13 years. And for us, it's really important to help boosting the conversion rate and booking volume through differentiating yourself. And this can be done either through storytelling on your website, but also through a streamlined customer journey on your website. And my hashtag would be, I really thought about this, I guess my hashtag would be boxing, because like that's one of my hobbies, but also like when you box, you kind of try to be strong and you always get up, and I guess that's what also describes the situation very well.
Very nice said. Awesome. So thanks a lot. I think everyone knows more or less now a bit of you. We will get to know you even better during the next 20 minutes. In general, my first question would be, is everyone healthy? Are you all good?
All
yes.
good.
All good.
Okay, that's perfect. I think that should be the first question either way to everything. And then I would love to know the obvious question, how was your professional life affected? Maria, you already said mom life. So tell us a bit. What's happening right now?
It's you know, just to echo some similar feedback there, you know, being a parent and a working parent is obviously hugely important. My son is 1 next week, so of course it's very testing, you know, through very much help of support of family, friends who I'm living with in the household, and self-isolation. It is restricted, of course, as we all are facing, but you know, it's yesterday, just to share an example, I actually did a 3-hour call in the end with a very exciting prospect, and it sounds terrible to say, but it was so nice just to have something to work at in terms of a goal and feel like you're contributing within the industry still, and you know, the positivity and the hope amongst customers as well as you know, prospects is really, really inspiring to hear. And I've also spoken to other customers very closely to me, whereby they are still recruiting into the business. They're looking ahead at, you know, obviously bookings certainly after the next 3 to 4 months at the moment. But the consensus is really good, and it inspires me, and hopefully our positivity, myself and everybody within RMS, it also wears off on our customers as well. And I think, just to echo what you've all said, we are in it together. We're all in the same position, whether we're on isolation day 17, 4, 5, 9, whatever it be. But I think for me, I'm just really staying focused, not watching too much media, trying to really not overly watch the news, because it's again, it's just not good, I think, for our mental health and our well-being. But no, we're getting through it, and great support of our colleagues as well, and as I said, our family, and you really appreciate, and I think we'll take away a lot of value. I certainly will after this event, of just going to work and taking it for granted, really. But no, it's nice just to be back in the game.
Yeah, true. Bettina, how was it for you? Was it hard to switch from one day to another to home office?
I say just one word: surreal. The situation is really surreal for me, and also for our company. I'm over 30 years here in the hotel industry in Switzerland, and I saw a lot, and we fight a lot with different things, but never has been a challenge like this, in this situation. Yes, to slow down from 200% to short time work to 50%, it's really hard. My team and I, we are privileged to work from home. Our colleagues in the hotels, respect to them, they have to work in the front, so that's not so easy for them as well. We organized our day with different projects, with our goals, what we have on a daily basis, that we keep connected and motivated. Because I said my hashtag is don't panic, and everybody's on, and you hear it, everybody speaks don't panic, but if you look in your figures in the books, to be honest, you get panic. Yes. It's really tough, but yeah, we have to look forwards, and we have to find opportunities, maybe thinking out of the box, that we can pay the salaries for the employees, that we can pay our rents, that we can pay our distribution channels, all these tools. I mean, there's a lot of costs where you have to handle. And if you see what's happened in the last weeks, Switzerland was affected earlier than the rest of Europe with the coronavirus, and the government settled a lot of action. And then 2 weeks later, or 1.5 weeks later, the rest of Europe comes, and that was for us, it was really cutting the lines to the rest of the world. So we are on an island like this, but every country is that at the moment. So it's really challenging, but I'm sure that we are coming back after this crazy time, maybe stronger or a little bit more broken. I don't know.
Okay.
We would have survived one more crisis, so
yes, we will do, but
yeah, true. So Antonios, that was you, right, saying it?
Right, yeah.
Right, okay. So what's your current situation?
What I actually do work from home office all the time, so that didn't change a lot. My kids are with their grandparents, so I don't have them in the household, so I'm okay on that front. But obviously things changed a lot with the interaction we have with our customers, our hotels, service department operators, and hybrid hotel concepts. Generally, our customers where it was heartbreaking to see how business was dropping out of their books, and of course we felt for them. And now, I guess in the third week now, we can see basically everyone coming to terms with the situation, and like the other panelists said, trying to make the best of the situation, look ahead, see where you can plan for the future, where you can work on your product, already think ahead of how will this crisis change my property operationally? Do I need to adapt operationally to a new situation, and what will that mean? So there are a lot of questions where if you have sort of sorted out your people and your staff and everybody is safe and sound, you can actually then go on to planning for what's to come in the next 2 to 3 months. And we at PACE, we are just trying to fill a role where we can add value to that process. Obviously, our pricing algorithms can add a lot of value at the moment when there's no business coming in. But we'll be there once business does come back in, and then we'll be at the side of our customers.
Mm-hmm. Ramin, you said you have a small hotel. How are you affected?
Well, it's really hard for us because from one day to the other day, there's almost no reservation. All emails we received were only cancellation, and same with the telephone. But everyone in the hotellery are in the same situation. Yeah, it was really bad because it is even more bad because it's not my own fault. Normally when I do a fault, yeah, I can be angry with myself, but in this situation, you're really helpless. You sit here, start crying because you don't know what to do, what is the future for the company, for the whole industry. Yeah? But after some hours of crying, yeah, we started looking forward again and yeah, tried different things. That's the way it is.
Yeah, we'll come back to those things in a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe Lisa, quickly in between, we already got more hashtags in the Q&A section, and we also have some messages in the chat. So let me quickly read this out because, I mean, we kind of introduced all the panelists, but now we get some hashtags, and maybe it's great to give everyone a forum to say hi as well. So like Lars van Wettern is saying, thanks for the nice setup here. My hashtag would be, it's all about the people. Then Ryan Hayes is saying hi from Bournemouth, UK, on behalf of Hayes Marcoms and Book Boost. We win this battle together. And then Petaya is saying greetings from Munich and Wirecard. And Noelle is letting us know that she is well as well. So, and then
yeah,
one more. Christian is saying greetings from London. Keep calm. Hashtag keep calm. Keep safe. And he already has a couple of questions.
Let's cover that one later on. Yeah.
Okay. So Christian, we are going to get to that in a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's continue quickly, Lisa.
Yeah. So Neville, I know that you prepared something for us because in Madrid and Barcelona, obviously the situation is.
I mean,
I don't want to say the words, so I'm keeping quiet.
I mean, I guess you know how badly affected Spain is. We track data on a weekly basis in terms of business on the books and compare it with the same point last year and the previous week. You may or may not know that all hotels in Spain are closed by government order until the state of emergency is lifted. So we're just tracking what's going on from the 1st of May onwards, when hotels should still be open for sale. And what we can see in the short term is week after week, there's negative pickup. So every week, there are more cancellations than bookings for the month of May. And you can see this, the dotted blue line is the occupancy on the books, and the straight blue line is the occupancy. So the occupancy last week is the discontinuous line, and the other line is the occupancy on the books. So we can see the occupancy on the books is dropping, and on the other side, the same time last year data sort of is we're also seeing a big increase in this gap. So May is looking really, really bad, and we don't see until the middle of June a stabilization of the situation. And from the middle of June onwards, we don't see any activity. So there's no cancellations, but there's also no pickup. So we think here people are still hedging their bets to see what's going to happen, but we're not expecting recovery significantly before the end of July. This is something we look at every week, and this data is from yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Stefan, you're doing like, yes, I think the same. Is this something that you can relate? Obviously, it is something you can relate to, otherwise you wouldn't be doing like, yeah. But I would like to know, because you are one of some others that said, okay, this is the situation and we need to do something. So Stefan, what are you currently doing, and do you have any results yet? Please let us know.
Okay, so well, first of all, the change of working in an office or working at home at Koncept Hotels wasn't really a big change, because we all of our stuff, at least in the head office, was working more or less 90% from home or elsewhere where they wanted to work. We do have some scattered teams in the hotels, but due to our concept, they're not on property all the time. Actually, most of the time they aren't, which was good for us because we could adapt to the situation quite quickly, and I think got over that shock that the cancellations that Ramin also mentioned before came in such a tsunami kind of way, and we picked up quite early that we're only gonna get through this whole mess if we're gonna do something proactively and quickly stop complaining and whining about the whole situation, because it's just what Ramin said. It's not our fault. We couldn't change our behavior and make the situation any better. So we had to come up with something more or less creative to make the best out of it. That's why we started mid of March a crowdfunding campaign where we essentially try to use the reach of a rather big crowdfunding platform called Start Next in Germany, where I think it's the German-speaking countries and areas mostly that Start Next is operating at, which is also our key target group base. We started a crowdfunding campaign there, mainly selling hotel vouchers, but now we'll be adopting to selling something else, because we also see, and this is maybe the answer to your question, Lisa, and what the results are. We see that there is a saturation of selling packages, selling vouchers, especially selling hotel vouchers. I'm pretty sure Ramin can add to that experience as well, as he came up with a brilliant idea as well later on. And we will soon be starting to selling something that will add to the experience of Koncept Hotel from the partners that we have in our network already. And hopefully this will get in some more cash. You can see our campaign right there. It's in German only, pretty much due to the fact that Start Next, as I mentioned, is mainly doing business in German-speaking areas. We've collected 4,000 euros so far via the campaign directly, but in addition to that, we have a lot more people contacting us directly, saying they want to contribute, they want to sponsor something, they want to help us out, well, we do get good feedback from that, and I think, and this is something that I would like to mention as well. We do give 10% of the earnings from that project, from that campaign, to our social and environmental partners that we support all through the year, that we have been supporting from the start. And I think that's important, because people do get that if you stay true to your values and to the ideas that you have, why you're doing business, they are more willing to support that idea. And I'm not saying that doing what we're doing is the one way, because it isn't, obviously, but I think it's going to be very, very important in the future that that all companies out there, not only in hospitality and tourism, know what they stand for, know the values, because in an ever-changing world with even less certainty about things that we thought were sure and were forgiven, it's going to be more important than ever to focus on these values and know what you stand for and communicate that in the right way.
Yeah, totally. And it's nice to see that even though it's not only hospitality or tourism that is in this mess, that people are still willing to buy vouchers and are still willing to help. So that's a nice thing to see. Felizitas, how are you coping with everything? You said you're closed until the end of April. What's the status? What are you looking at? What are you monitoring? Let us know.
Yeah, so I'm nearly the last woman standing in the hotel. So I'm not at the home office. I'm in the hotel because I'm doing like the reservations and everything is going on there. So we hope that we can open in May. We are preparing everything for that. We are renovating the hotel, like everything, and cleaning up everything. So that's really nice, and the guests know about it. So we have a social media campaign for them. Without you, everything is not the same. Please come back, like this. So we want to we want to keep in mind. So that's the reason why we opened a delivery service for the restaurant, because we have big restaurants like the Coast and the Clouds restaurant, and we spread a campaign for that. And this is not that we want to make money, this is just a marketing campaign, because it's so important that the people know about it. We are doing something and we want to do something. So yeah, we don't make that much, but it's good for the people to keep in mind, and they know that we are here. The pickup is really bad as well, but I think in the last 3 days the cancellations are not that bad. So 2 weeks ago it was horrible. We only got the cancellation, but now it's a bit like they calling us and asking us, yeah, you're open in May, and I said yes. Okay, let's keep the reservation and inform us if something is changed. So that is what we're doing, because of the big events like the ferry, like online marketing rock stars, and the harbor birthday, it's cancelled. So we say to everyone, they booked a non-flexible rate. It's okay, you can cancel, but you have to come in this year, and we keep the amount in our hotel. So that's really important, that we don't have that much cancellations for the non-flexible rate.
Yeah, liquidity is king right now. Totally, absolutely. Ramin, you did more.
Maybe Lisa, just a question, because I think that's a topic that everyone will be interested in later on when it comes to the statement of Expedia and Booking.com about giving all cancellations back free of charge and not keeping them. So let's keep that in mind for later on when we come to the topic.
Absolutely. I think, I don't know because I don't see them, but probably someone will be asking that either way. So I'm keeping quiet about that. But Ramin, you also did ask your guests right now and ask people to support you. Let us know.
Yes, I thought it's a better way to do anything than do nothing. And I decided to make a video for with one of our employees here together, and yeah, it was. We offered three different. We call it helping package with bronze, silver, and gold. The idea is not that you do a really good bargain with this, or you get many things for free, but at the end of the day, it's still a very attractive offer. So, but we try to get in contact with people who believe in our company, which will come in the future as well, companies around us. And we told them about the situation in the hotel, in the hospitality at the moment. Yeah. And it was really, from the bottom of my heart, it was really honestly, yeah. It's a really hard situation. We have to think about to close the company, to lose employees, and so on. The full package, yeah. So, and we started. I was really surprised because I didn't know that LinkedIn works that good like it is. We uploaded the video on LinkedIn, and we had so much support. More than 3,000 times the video was shown, shared, or whatever. And also I made the same like Stefan, place the project campaign and start next. You are much better. We just had a look a few minutes ago. We are still with €0 in the start. Yeah, nobody's taking part of our project there, but it's okay. We had in the other way with direct mailings to our network, to our customers. We could do any sales on about €50,000 at the end of the day, but it's still in progress. Yeah, but 50,000 might be not very much for a big company, but for our house, it's really nice, and we are really thankful for this support from all sides. Yeah, that's what we did. And further on, we tried to push the campaign with on Start Next with some ads in Facebook and Instagram, but as you see, the campaign in Start Next is still on the lowest level. So your personal network
is something, right?
Your personal network is doing the best job.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. Okay, I would say, looking at the time, Lena, can we switch to questions and answers? You will be heading off from here because I was not looking at anything. I don't know if people are
absolutely
questions or what questions they are. And let's see if our panelists, if we can like split it so that everyone can obviously answer some questions.
Yeah, and maybe if anyone wants to say anything while we are reading out questions, you can also speak for yourself. So just let me know and I'll unmute you, and you will get like a notification and you have to accept it. So that's also a possibility. But if you don't want that, you can also send me a message, or we can use the Q&A button as well. But maybe before we start that, because we haven't shared the poll results, maybe we should do that first, right?
Yes, please.
So let me share the results quickly, and then we're gonna go to the questions.
So almost 50% of hoteliers. Very good. Very important.
And 3% OTAs. That's interesting.
And we have some people from Spain as well. That's also good to know. Maybe we have a hotelier from Spain who wants to speak out at some point. That would be awesome. Or from Italy.
We have at least one.
Absolutely. And if you're afraid to speak in English, Neville or I can translate, or Lisa can translate. All right. So don't be shy. Yeah. Okay, Lena, the questions from the audience.
All right. So let me start off with a hashtag. So Albert Perez from Barcelona is saying, greetings from Barcelona. We will come back stronger. Hashtag together we are better. And to the questions. So Christian is saying, how do you handle the OTA extended cancellation policy when there's a disparity against your own brand?
Let's start with that one. Yeah.
So,
how's the reaction from hotel side? I think we've seen many things online from Safe Rosenberg, from HSMA, from Marco Nussbaum, from Price Hotel. Or to give context, there was messages out there from Expedia, from Booking.com, saying you have to accept 100% cancellations, no matter what is your cancellation rule from your hotel, specifically for all customers coming from Booking.com and Expedia, and return the money. So what's the current situation for the hoteliers? What's your message? What's your status? What's your thought about that? And then maybe as well from our partners, experts point of view, what's your take on that? So maybe starting with Stefan.
Well, usually I'm not the one in charge in the company talking with or about the OTAs, but of course I do have an opinion about it. I think it's outrageous what they do. It's the complete opposite of what I would expect companies within the same industry doing at the moment, which would be showing solidarity, showing some sort of vision for the reality out there. Because in Germany, for example, 80% of the hotels are small hotels like Ramin's and like ours. It's not the big Hiltons, the big Sheratons out there. It's small companies like us struggling and being happy about every booking coming in. And to be honest, being happy about every cancellation or every booking that can't be cancelled. It's harsh to say, but we've been to a certain point very strict about these cancellations, and we've been very strict towards the OTAs about these cancellations. There was a tipping point, to be honest, when we started to communicate in a more humane way with our guests, offering them the possibility to postpone their stay while keeping the same rate. But essentially, I think that's not the problem. I think the problem really is the distribution power that OTAs do have nowadays, and the misuse, the abuse of this power. Yeah, it's sad to see, to be honest. I mean, those are million and billion-dollar companies, and companies like ours have to do a crowdfunding campaign and be happy about 4,000 euro collected. What's the relation,
Yeah. Ramin, from your perspective, does that change the way on how you want to or will cooperate with brands like Expedia and Booking.com in the future? Are you getting prepared? Are you thinking about changing your setup, and what's the background there?
Well, first of all, I don't know if everybody's involved in the team, that the OTAs wants us, the hotel companies, to accept a free cancellation of non-refundable reservations. That's the first. Yeah, that's what we are talking about now. So I'm really upset because it's a really, really bad behavior from these companies, from the OTAs, especially from Booking.com and Expedia, in a situation like this, where every euro counts. Yeah, they want us to give the money back for a risk we are not responsible for. So, and at the end of the day, where's a big point? If I'm a customer and I make a non-refundable reservation, it's my own risk. Yeah, and even if it's not my risk, my fault that we are talking about coronavirus, it's of course not the fault from the hotel company. So, but anyhow, they want the money back from us, from our side. So, and if they get support from Booking and Expedia, well, it's, what do they want? Yeah, they offer us, yeah, it's more easy for you to handle the reservations, the cancellations. We are not able to change the settings they made in the back end to go back to we don't accept. Yeah, they changed the settings in the back end, and it's closed. There's no way to go back to the original settings. And now you ask me what I'm thinking about. Yeah, I'm really happy that we have people like Marco Nussbaum or Zev Rosenberg that they point out these themes, these behavior. And at the moment, most of us have really much time to think about. And of course, there will be a time after Corona, and we will see how business is going on with these companies.
Maybe if I can add something to that,
sure.
Especially in that context, we can all see that it is also possible for an OTA to do it in a different way. If you look at HRS, I mean, you can say anything you want about HRS as a company, but the way they have been handling this whole topic with cancellations, with bookings, as the context, they have been talking to their customers to rather postpone a booking than cancel it.
Right.
And I think this is the way forward. This is the way to go forward, and not to show this kind of behavior that especially Booking and Expedia have been doing.
There's an additional question, Lena, as well from Michael Lennon in the chat. Maybe you want to pick that up.
There are a lot of questions coming in. I'm going to read out a comment on what we just said first. So Thomas is saying this is a real wake-up call for the hotel industry, and they have to take back control on their distribution. Then we have Sasha, and he's saying on the one-to-one discussion with an OTA, it was not mentioned as a rule to apply. Anyway, they did cancellations on themselves. It comes to the time to see who is your partner and who's cherry picking from the market.
Lena, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a lot of questions actually.
Can you pick like the most critic or the most important, or maybe also on a tech provider's perspective that relates to it?
Let me see what else I have here.
Probably whilst Lena is researching that, Bettina, what is the situation for you guys with Welcome in Switzerland? Is that exactly the same? Did you get the same messages from Expedia and Booking.com? Yeah.
Of course we did. And we had no choice. To be honest, we have no choice. We have a choice to decide that we don't want to work with them, so we have to shut down the systems. That's one clear way. Otherwise, I think in smaller hotels, change or hotels they stay alone, we can miss this opportunity for the distribution. Otherwise, we have to spend so much marketing fees in this topic that, we're running out of money. So everybody have to think and have to make his own decision. Do I want to work with them or not? But we had such discuss, and we can also discuss a long time about this topic. We will not win. It's right. We have to find a way to create a fair partnership, cooperation with them. But at the moment, I don't see any light that we have more control about these distribution channels.
Right. I think the more people, especially from hotel side, that will start to complain about that process, maybe it will be similar to Adidas. I think we've all seen that they don't want to pay their rental fees anymore in their stores worldwide, right? And after all the communities complaining about, they took a step back and said, okay, we will continue paying it. And maybe it's the same with Expedia and Booking.com. If enough people complain and say, hey, that's not gonna be working for all of us, then you just need to be strong together, which always has been difficult for the hotel industry as such. to organize themselves and be strong together. Remember all the rants that Hakon Herbst did in the old days from HSMA and stuff. But I think that's the right situation right now, to stick together like glue and say, we're not going to accept that.
But you know, Daniel, it wasn't the landlords of Adidas who were complaining, it was the customers. And I think that's the essential part about it. We need to focus on getting the message out to our guests. You know, they have to understand what Booking.com is doing. They have to understand that if you book at Booking.com, you're most likely a Booking.com guest, or you're more likely to be a Booking.com guest than you are a guest at Hotel Poppenbütteler Hof. You know, it's the guest that we have to talk to and
educate. You mean? And
educate them, sort of. Yeah, I'm completely with Bettina. We won't win this battle. And I can completely relate to your to your things that you've been saying. There've been so many things that have been done and said. It's a battle where money wins, and hospitality can never win this battle unless we educate our guests that booking us directly is the way that they support us the most.
I'm seeing here a pretty good question, which is, what do you envision is going to be your biggest struggle once the market situation starts to bounce back? So how are you preparing for this? Antonio's already said that you are right now, you can't really do anything, but that you are preparing, for example, to help hoteliers at the point where they get reservations back in. Give us an example. How would that be?
Well, it goes a little bit in the same direction as hotels are doing for their own guests. We basically give payment holidays. We basically, when the hotels are closed, we're not invoicing obviously our services, but we are remaining with our customers. So when in 2-3 months down the road, when reservations start coming back in again, our tool will start immediately to manage rates and manage pricing right away. So no one loses time and they regain market share as quickly as possible, what they've lost.
Someone changing a bit the strategics. So after this one, we'll offer something new, something different because of this? Neville?
Go ahead, Neville, sorry.
I mean, I think that once things start to recover, I think the way we look at our pricing is going to be a bit different in the future. I've been in some discussions in the last few days where people have been talking about ethical pricing, which isn't something that in revenue management we have been accustomed to talking about in the past. Because there is a reality here that when hotels start to reopen, they're not suddenly going to be full. Because there are millions of people who've had their incomes reduced by being made temporarily unemployed. And these people, whilst they may be traveling, will not have the same buying power that they had in the past. And I think hotels have to think about how to price if they want to capture this demand from these markets. And the first markets to recover are going to be domestic, because there's the evolution of COVID is different in each country. There's still international travel bans, which are probably going to be on for a while. So I think in terms of pricing, we need to think about things perhaps in a slightly different way. And we are certainly, we've got our product team working on how the algorithm should take these kind of concepts into account, which is something that perhaps in the past we were more focused on optimization of each day. But there needs to be some element of fair pricing, I think. I think this is a change that's going to happen in the industry as a result of this.
Mm-hmm.
I just unmuted Michael because he's sending a lot of comments and questions. So Michael, I just unmuted you so that you can participate as well.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Michael.
You can hear. How are you?
Hey, very well.
Hi, Michael. How are you doing?
How are you keeping? Yeah, I think we're looking at this here with the Irish Hotels Federation, Tim Fenn and myself in Ireland, and a couple of different comments have come up. Now we've got one email back from Bookings.com about how to waive fees with the cancellation fee exemption tool, and we're trying to develop that. I've made in the chat my own comments that any of the bookings that have cancelled between now and say the end of April, about 70% of them have cancelled fully because they just couldn't travel for a variety of reasons. But 30% of them, and these would be the prepaid ones, particularly advanced purchase, have rebooked other dates later in the year. So it does take a little bit of more labour and resources, and which we have, unfortunately. We have the labour, and people can work from home doing this, contacting these guests. Mm-hmm. But there is, and I have their understanding of what how to waive fees with the cancellation fee exemption tool. I have an email from them, so I can copy that to you.
That would be awesome, and we will be happy to share it.
Okay.
Sure.
So that's my,
thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Yeah.
Awesome that you came in.
If any other hotelier would like to join in and leave a comment live, just ping Lena at all times.
Yeah,
right?
just let me know, and I'll.
We'll go probably another 5 to 10 minutes.
We have more or less like 3 to 5 minutes left.
Yes, we have we have a lot of questions, and for sure we're not going to answer them right now, but maybe we can send some answers later on. So we will be collecting the questions and we can come back later.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Lena. What I would love to do is if anyone wants to say something on the topics that we've discussed right now would be the moment.
Okay, can I?
Yes, of course.
Sorry. So we talked about the pricing, and I think this is the main thing we have to do when we can come back. So we all want to go back stronger, but sometimes, like not only in Hamburg, like in the main cities, what is the pricing? Do we go lower than normal, or do we go higher? So I think the hoteliers, they have to speak together, and they have to say, okay, what's our strategy? And we have to make a strategy for the whole city, because otherwise someone is getting too high, the other one's getting lower, because everyone wants to own the business. And then we have the wow to the hoteliers. So this is the main thing we discussed a lot of the hospitality industry club camps, that we want to stay together, but no one is staying together. They all say, okay, I'm going lower, I want the business, and yeah.
Yeah, but are you taking action, for example, in Hamburg right now? Do you have like people that you're talking to, that you're discussing things like this with?
Yeah, we have a bit like this, but not the main things. Like Ramin's hotel is a small hotel, so what they're doing, I can say, with my competitor set, I talk to them and ask them, do you go high or low, or in the crisis, what are you doing? Are you closing or not? If anyone is calling me, I recommend the hotels, they are open, so it's not a problem for me that they go there for the time and then they come back to us. So yeah, I think it's really important to think about that. What's the strategy for the city, and not what's the strategy for the own hotel?
For sure.
Neville wants to say something.
Yeah, I do agree with you, and we, along with just about every other revenue management consultant or tech organization, are recommending to our customers not to get into a price war. Difficulty in sort of reaching agreements about this, because you're sort of touching along anti-competition laws in the European Union. It's a very fine line that we have to draw between all agreeing that we should maintain a certain common sense in our pricing, and actually agreeing on anything like floor rates or anything like that, which is actually not even legal. So I mean, our advice has always been don't get into a price war and don't go crazy, because you're not going to get any more demand. But we have to be careful about the way that this is done. And actually, I think chains have a role to play here, because chains need to lead by example. And that's not always the case. So it's certainly something that we need to think about carefully.
True. Maria, is this something that you talk to your customers as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, it's obviously a time where they are forward planning and they're reviewing their rate strategies, of course, very carefully. And I think there's just a lot of, I think, deliberation really amongst the classifications, and again, dependent on the location and their targets and things like that. But yeah, I think overall they will be doing lots of social media campaigns and trying to encourage more direct business, of course, because of, you know, challenges, of course, ongoing with the OTAs at the moment. So that pretty much seems to be the consensus of, you know, there's a bit of time, really let's nail down the sales and marketing and try and get as much direct traction as they can through way of incentivizing promos, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah.
Tony, maybe as well, because we have several questions when it comes to RMS technology in the Q&A.
Yeah.
First of all, are your algorithms still useful? And especially when the pickup bounces back? And can you rely on historical data, which you, in the case of Face, don't do too much, as far as I know? So when it comes to RMS technology.
The algorithm is very much looking at future data and activity for the future, and doesn't take history as a precedent always to influence pricing decisions, which is good in a way, because if business starts coming back, the algorithm will react right away and will adjust pricing accordingly wherever there is opportunity. I think one other point also on the comments that Neville made before, I think it's also good to take a segmented approach to this, because as we said before, the economy and consumers have taken a huge hit with this crisis. The last crisis, the banks took the hit, and some consumers, but now basically all consumers are on short-term labor. So there will be an expectation surely from leisure clients that hotels are flexible with their pricing. On the other hand, business bookings, I think things will bounce back to a normal level, and each hotel needs to basically be in touch with their own target groups and adjust their pricing accordingly. But there is definitely a tenor in the market that prices will go down, but not bottomless, because it doesn't make sense.
So I just unmuted Sasha. He has some comments to make and some questions related to that.
Yes, thanks, Lena.
Hi, Sasha.
Hi there, all together. First of all, I'm fine here in Hanover. I think it's a pity what Ron just mentioned in the chat. Absolutely agree, it's better to look for new market segments, and absolutely agree with what Felizitas said a moment ago, that we need to have an understanding of market pricing and of not dropping the rates to the bottom. But it's a normal way of working with a lot of hotel operators. They're just dropping the rates and bringing the margins to the bottom, and look for new markets on that way. And that's just a mess. And it's the same we discussed with OTAs before. So on one-to-one discussions with OTA, you go for their loyalty program, you go for some premium account for paying extra commission and so on. And nobody of us is cutting the OTAs. Nobody of us is really looking for new markets. It's all about the price. So I believe what Felizitas said and what Neville said, we need to have a good understanding of a fair pricing in the future when business is bouncing back, and it will. I believe when you see the figures coming from May or June, so whatever, probably in autumn. But business will bounce back, and then we have to be strong, and we have to have the right price for the right markets.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thanks a lot for adding that as well. So if I'm looking at the watch, we are obviously always overdue. So it is 5 minutes past 6. I think we could talk for hours about it, and I think there are so many other topics that we could talk about and yeah, give ideas to each other, and I think this is what we need to do in general in this situation. So I think I need to close this one because this won't be the last one. So, but I think it is time. 1 hour passes by very fast. So thank you for everyone watching. A special thank you to our great panelists. It has been a pleasure to hear and also feel what you feel and what you are doing right now. Thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for all the questions. And what I would love to do, because I don't want to end this day or this hour with a bad mood, what I would love to do is really just super short, 1 sentence of each of our panelists. Give us something positive, 1 positive sentence that you want to close this session with. In the meantime, you are doing this. Everyone who's watching, we have another poll for you, just to give us a little feedback so we can adapt our next sessions, which I will let you know in a minute. But yeah, 1 last sentence and a positive one, please, from our panelists. Starting with Lena, you start. Give us 1 positive sentence and then you can come up with the poll.
Okay, so actually you really got me. I was just thinking about it. So I guess it's kind of what the others said in the hashtags. We are gonna get stronger because we have to adapt, and we're helping each other and we're learning from each other. So I guess my sentence would be, we're gonna be become stronger.
Perfect, thanks a lot. Felicitas, what's your sentence?
Yeah, so as everyone said, we're all in this together. And I think it's so nice that we have that good community to communicate and talk together and everything like this. So I think it's wonderful that we can help us in this bad time.
Thank you. Antonios, what's yours?
Well, it's probably about staying focused and believing in the recovery that will come, and to try to make the best, to come back with new messaging, adapted messaging, and maybe also having learned something as a person and as a business in society from this whole crisis.
Mm-hmm. Ramin?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's really hard to find any positive thoughts in these times, but we can be thankful that we live in Europe. We have a very good medical system in our country. We are, at the moment, everybody is healthy, and okay, everybody is losing money, but game is going on, and we think positive for the future. So stay healthy.
Perfect. Bettina.
Thank you to having me in this talk. I want to say, stay motivated and use your network. Maybe you can share experience together to listen what's going on with your competitors. And also, one of my target is to enjoy the time what I have now, to relax a little bit, and not like in the years before where you ever under pressure and you have time for nothing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Stefan?
I'll say stay healthy, stay sane, stay safe. Everything else is just business. Yeah, it's going to recover. It's going to come back at some point. We're all going to be fine. The main thing that we have to focus on is staying healthy and keeping the ones that we loved healthy. That's the most important thing.
Thank you. Maria?
So much of what I'm going to say, everybody has pretty much said, but recharge, keep smiling. It's so, I think easy to get very distracted and, quite down on yourselves about it, but we will look back on this and, we have to come out of it with a smile. So keep focused, stay strong, and we're all in it together.
Thank you, Neville.
It's kind of in line with what Bettina was saying. One thing that this situation has given us, whether we like it or not, is time. And I think we need to use this time wisely. And I think it gives us a chance, or it should give us a chance, to think about, for our businesses, what we really need and what we really want, and what is the long-term strategy. Because we tend to get so caught up in the day-to-day, and we think about next week and we think about next month, but when there's time, we really need to think deeply about what's the best thing for my business moving forwards, and we should take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Daniel, one final.
Me as well.
Yes, of course.
Oh gosh. So I want to start with something that my friend Alex from 25 Hours said: re-own your brand, right? So you really need to look into what's the best for your brand for the near future, and what's the best things you can do for that from a positive perspective. Then secondly, there's nothing wrong right now. Test, try and error, try new things. Maybe they will fail. We do the same. We're all in this together. We are hit by all this together, but we try and fail, and then next morning we get up and we try again. I think that's pretty important to stay positive in that context. And what I learned, for example, in the last 2 weeks, especially with my son being home, I never spent so much time with my son, and I really enjoy it. So that time is not coming back, as Bettina said before as well, and Stefan is doing the same in his lovely garden and beach hut. So yeah, we're all working hard towards new goals, and we're trying to create new things that help all the hoteliers in our custom make us survive as well. But at the same time, we will never be that close again, maybe, with our families. And I think that's one positive factor to take away.
Absolutely. And I have another as well. Lena, can you put up the screen for the next session? Because this wasn't the only session that we will be doing. So my positive thing to say is that we will have obviously a next session where we will also have great panelists and also talk obviously to hoteliers and tech providers on April 16th at 5 p.m. CET. Will be our next session, and let me see. Yeah, we will check what has happened so far. So it will be more or less 2 weeks from, no, not more or less, it will be 2 weeks from now. So things will change, because as we know, they change daily, on a daily basis. And yeah, we will get together again. And so please feel free already to sign up for it, to ask all the questions that maybe you didn't get answered today. Write them down. We will be online in 2 weeks again. So, am I forgetting something?
Well, I also wanted to say thank you for all the participations. We got so many comments in the chat and a lot of questions, and we could not answer all of them. So I'll make sure we are going to answer them afterwards, and I'm taking them with me, and also the comment as well. It looks like this has been a great session based on the comments we are getting. So thank you so much, guys, for participating and making this interactive.
Yes, thank you very much.
Do we have the results of the poll as well?
We do. Let me share them.
Before we forget
don't show them.
Don't show them. Okay. Oh, wrong one.
All right.
Well, in the meantime, thank you once again to the panelists. Thank you, Michael and Sasha, as well, for joining in live. That was exactly what we wanted. If you're still listening in, there's still around 60 people. If you want to be part of this, contact us. In the next 2 weeks, we're taking the Easter break. That's why we are not back next week. As Lisa said, there will be some lovely partners in 2 weeks as well. I think Tony is there as well, if I don't remember. Yeah. And maybe Neville, I'm not sure. Yeah. So thank you again as well for the hoteliers, because we reached out to them, I think, on Monday, and they made it happen. And we had, I think, a 100% confirmation list. So we reached out to 4 people and they all confirmed, which is awesome, which shows how great our industry is and how strong we are keeping this things together. appreciate that a lot, and I hope to see you soon. And now back to Lisa for the close down.
That was
and
it.
the poll.
And the
results.
Come on, show us the
Come
results.
on, Lena.
So we know what to do better next time, because that's always what we want to know at the evening camps as well. We can do better. It should be longer. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But let's do it again, 78%.
Okay,
so.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot. Great. Yeah, we will, well, we did it actually longer than planned, half an hour longer. So thanks a lot. And yeah, stay safe. Please stay home. And yeah, let's do this in 2 weeks. And thank you very much to everyone. Great applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
And cheers to that. Cheers, guys.